The glass of red wine shimmered in the candlelight. His hand lifted it halfway, ready to drink. Then, from the shadows outside the window, a trembling voice broke the silence. "Don't drink that. Your wife has put something in your glass." His hand froze. The room fell into an eerie stillness, broken only by the faint crackle of the fireplace. His wife sat across from him, her smile wide but her eyes too steady, watching him like a hawk. For just a second, her expression faltered. Then she raised her own glass, pretending not to notice. He lowered the wine slowly, his pulse racing. Outside the tall window stood a young homeless girl, her clothes torn, her face pale eyes filled with fear. She pressed her palms against the glass, whispering again with urgency, "Please, don't drink it. I saw her pour something in when you weren't looking." He excused himself with a calm he did not feel. His wife's lips parted, as if to stop him. But she said nothing. Instead, her fingers tapped nervously on the table. He stepped into the cold night, the air biting his skin. The girl's voice shook as she spoke. "I'm not lying. I know what I saw. She's hiding something from you." He asked her how she could possibly know. Tears welled in her eyes as she confessed, "Because someone once tried to do the same to me. Someone I trusted." Her story came in fragments: betrayal by a foster family, a meal laced with something meant to silence her forever, only stopped by a neighbor's sudden intervention. From that day on, she noticed signs others missed, and tonight, she had seen it again. Her voice was raw, trembling, but it carried no greed, no trickery, only fear for a man she did not know. He felt something heavy settle in his chest. When he returned inside, his wife's smile was gone. Her charm cracked into something sharper. "Why did you go out there?" she asked softly, her voice too calm, too rehearsed. He looked at the glass. The deep red shimmered beautifully, hiding whatever truth it carried. He remembered every laugh, every shared dream, every promise. Had it all been real, or had betrayal always lived behind her smile? She reached for his wrist. "You don't believe her, do you?" she whispered. He pulled his hand away. The silence between them said everything. That night, he didn't sleep. The untouched glass sat on his desk, lit only by the dim glow of a lamp. Memories turned over in his mind, the sudden disappearances of money, the strange phone calls, the growing distance in her gaze. For the first time, the puzzle pieces began to fit. The next day, he sent the wine for testing. Days later, the results came back, and his world cracked. The liquid carried traces of a slow, colorless toxin, designed to weaken over weeks. A plan not of anger, but of cold patience. He confronted her. At first, denial. Then fury. Finally, the truth. "I was tired of living in your shadow," she spat, her voice trembling. "I was tired of waiting for my own life to begin. You never gave me what I deserved. I found someone else, someone who promised me freedom." Her words cut deeper than the poison itself. Betrayal as sounded is the shattering of trust, the breaking of a bond once thought eternal. He stood still, not shouting, not raging, but whispering words heavier than any anger. "You could have asked for freedom. Instead, you chose my death." Her dignity shattered in that moment. She no longer held power, only silence. The story later spread in whispers, then in headlines. People spoke of crime, of betrayal, of a broken marriage laid bare. But what no one knew was that he had been saved, not by police, not by fortune, but by a homeless girl outside a window. He found her again, sitting on a curb, arms wrapped around her knees. She looked up, startled, as he approached. He sat beside her, offering no coins, only presents. Then he said softly, "You saved me. You reminded me of something I had forgotten. Sometimes angels don't wear wings. Sometimes they wear wounds." Her eyes filled with tears. No one had ever called her an angel before. He offered her shelter, a chance to rebuild not out of pity, but out of recognition. She had given him life, not with riches, not with power, but with truth. Years later, when people asked what he had learned from that night, his answer was always the same. The deadliest poison is not in a glass. It's in betrayal. But the greatest cure is kindness that expects nothing in return. So remember this, the voices we are quickest to ignore may be the very ones carrying the truth that saves us. Listen to them, respect them, for silent strength often comes from the most unexpected places. Now I ask you, if you were in his place, would you have listened to that trembling voice, or would you have trusted only what you thought you knew? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this story touched you, subscribe for more tales of unseen battles, silent heroes, and the fragile power of trust.